I guess I should sit.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Sisters Against Kidney Disease. I am your host, Steve Belcher. Thanks for tuning in. Our regular host, Sorrel, is having a little technical difficulty, so until she gets that situation corrected, I'm going to step in for her. So, Sorrel, if you're watching, handle your business and do what you got to do to come on, and we'll be here. But again, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Tonight we have a great show. We have a transplant warrior who is doing tremendous things. And without further ado, I'd like to bring her on, Minister Anita Harper of New Beginnings Kidney Foundation. How you doing, Minister Harper?
I'm doing well, thank you, Steve. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for joining us, taking the time out of your busy schedule. What's going on down in Georgia? Any warm weather?
Actually, it was pretty nice today.
Really?
Yeah, I had a t-shirt on and a sweater.
I'm
It.
jealous.
Oh, you should be because it was really nice today.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
So let's start. The title that Sorrel had named, the topic that Sorrel had named the show was Rediscovering Normal, Life After a Kidney Transplant. So before we just hear your story of kidney disease, how is your life after a kidney transplant right now?
I'm living my best life right now. I can say that. Um, I'm steady. I'm normal. It's not a lot of ups and downs as most kidney patients find. We find ourselves where oftentimes we're not steady. It's one day at a time. So the journey continues. Some days you have good days, some days you have bad days. But for the
Right.
most part, mine is pretty normal.
Great. That's wonderful to hear. So
Hmm.
how does your journey start with kidney disease?
Well, I was diagnosed in 2004. Actually, my kidneys shut down in 2004, but I was diagnosed in 2000. And I was diagnosed with a disease called polycystic kidney disease. It's a hereditary disease, and it's actually cysts taking over your kidneys. So you have multiple cysts all over your kidneys. So when the doctor showed me the X-ray, it looked like bubbles. You know, like when you blow the bubbles, when the children have bubbles and
Absolutely.
they blow it. That's what my kidneys look like, bubbles everywhere, and those were cysts.
Wow.
So in two,
So so by you having polycystic kidney disease and you was diagnosed in 2000, and being that that's hereditary, so basically there's no way of reducing the progression of the disease other than a kidney transplant.
eventually, yes, a kidney transplant. However, I do believe with proper diet and when you're diagnosed early, I believe that you can possibly prolong the disease from actually taking over,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so quickly. But eventually, yes, you do have to have a transplant.
Wow. I'm sorry. So could you do any lifestyle change before you actually got on dialysis?
Yes, yes, I could have, but out of
Mm-hmm.
ignorance, or how should I just say, disobedience, I didn't make a lot of changes.
Wow. How
Hmm.
long were you on dialysis before you had the transplant?
7 years. I was on dialysis for 7 years, and I've done three different modalities of dialysis. I started with peritoneal dialysis. I did that for about 3 years. Then I did um, in clinic hemodialysis, and then I was trained to do it at home. It's
Mm-hmm.
called hemodialysis.
Mm-hmm. Um, on our last show, we had Courtney Brown on, and she was on for 12 years before she received her transplant. But she had gotten 3 calls, being the third one was the final one within that 12 years. During your 7 years, how many times did you get called?
Just the one.
Really?
Just that one time. Yes, sir.
So, did you see any of your counterparts at the clinic getting transplants before you, or was it not really a high number of people getting transplants at the facility where you're at?
It really wasn't a high number of transplants. I only remember one with a transplant, and one, his kidneys started working for him again. So he was able to come off of dialysis because his kidneys returned to function. But it was actually only one patient that I recall got a transplant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that it's kind
Yeah.
of heartbreaking to hear that,
Yeah.
and I can understand that. I was in Jonesboro over the summer at a health fair, and I just did some research on Jonesboro. It's a population of 4,000, roughly. I won't say 5,000, but within a 25-mile radius, 25 to 50-mile radius, there's 78 dialysis clinics,
Yeah.
and I I just don't understand that. I mean, I understand it, but 78, and I mean, there's 3 other cities in Clayton County with Jonesboro that those clinics serve. But I mean, where you're at, is that unheard of? Or are there a lot more clinics in your area?
Yeah, they're coming up a lot more lately. It seems as though the dialysis is spreading so rapidly that I would, and it's a big business. I mean, everybody wants to cash in on the big businesses. Every every time that I talk with someone, either they have a family member on dialysis, or they are finding out that their kidneys are not functioning properly. You have children who are on dialysis. It's heartbreaking, really. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether we need all of these dialysis centers, I can't tell you, but I think what we really need is to be educated, um, as a community, of different things that we can do to help ourselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, wow, you. I mean, you're so right about that, and I just had to think because there's really no education out there. I mean, there's education out there, but for some people who may be at a disadvantage to get the, education or the information,
Mm.
um, I believe that you need to either boots on the ground or go where the people are at that needs this education. Because what if someone doesn't have access to the internet and don't know about organizations where you could download uh, some information on high blood pressure?
Mm.
I mean, if they don't know that that information exists in the first place, how are they going to get there to get it?
And you're absolutely right. Um,
I
with
mean, you know what I'm saying, Minister?
I do, because that's one of the things that my kidney foundation does. Is we have a monthly meeting every third Saturday of the month, and that is to educate and to allow dialysis patients and their family members to get educated,
Uh-huh.
so that and the people that come in to educate us are professionals. They know what they're talking about. It's not something um, that we're guessing at, because this is very important to
Mm-hmm.
to a patient, especially a dialysis patient or a kidney patient, because this is a life-threatening disease.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's important that we get the information. And oftentimes when we're at the clinic or we're on dialysis, those technicians don't have time to educate us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a get in there, get your treatment, get your transportation, and get back home. And when you get off the machine, you don't want to hear nothing about no education, no way, because you're tired.
Okay. Excuse me. I want to bring our host on. I think she's ready.
Okay, good.
Um, hey, Sorrel. That's our host. Hey, Sorrel. I still think she has a little frozen.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Hey,
Well,
Sorrel.
we know about those, don't we?
Yeah. Sorrel, can you hear us? Okay. We're going to come back and try again. So tell us about New Beginning Foundations.
Okay, New Beginning.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Minister.
It was birthed after I received my kidney transplant. 7 years after being on dialysis, the 8th year, I went for my transplant, and I had an anonymous donor. So I happened to meet my donor at the clinic one day, and that was the joy of my life. Being able to see someone with uh, such a heart to give an organ to another human being while they're still yet alive, that was just awesome to me. And uh, on dialysis, I realized and I saw a lot of things that kidney patients go through, even myself. Every kidney patient has a different need. Not one of us have the same need. So,
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, once I got my transplant, I wanted to give back. And I've always been one to work, and um, I was caregiver, the whole bit. So I wanted to give back. So I founded the New Beginning Kidney Foundation so that I could help provide some of the things that are needed. And actually, with these bigger organizations, there's a lot of red tape. It's hard to get through. And I just wanted to touch those in the community one at a
Mm-hmm.
time.
Okay, Minister, let me bring Sorrel in. Let me see. She's
Okay,
back. I'm sorry.
no problem. Okay,
Let
she's
me bring her
gone.
up. Sorrel, are you there? Hey, Sorrel.
Hey,
Yeah, she having still having technical difficulty. Hey, Sorrel. Okay, we're gonna try back. So you met your donor, and that's what. Okay, I think she's back again. Let's see. Hey, Sorrel. Can you hear us? Okay. I'm sorry, Minister. I wanted to get her on because this is her show, but we having problems. But that's okay, long as this information gets out there.
Hmm.
And so continue. I'm sorry with
So
New Beginnings.
what New Beginning is all about is being able to help the kidney patient at their need. And as I said, everybody has a different need. So what we are doing there is, if someone has, maybe they're not doing so well at this point, and they're stuck with their bed, stuck to their rooms, what we like to do is go in and maybe change the curtains, change the bedspread, and kind of revive their room for them. And it makes it a little bit more, because you're sick, it makes life a little bit better. We did that for a 15-year-old a year or so ago. And it just blew his mind. He was so excited about his new room. Another one had special, the teenager had special needs and was placed in the hospital. His mother had to go back and forth because she had other children at home, could not afford really the gas to go back and forth. So we were able to help her in gas cards to go back and forth to be with the special needs child. What we do is we put on a black tie affair every year to celebrate the kidney patient, the caregivers, medical professions, people that have donated kidneys, to encourage the kidney community. Because as a kidney person, we struggle daily. What we look like on the outside is not necessarily what's going on in the mind and in the body. Oftentimes we're not feeling our best, but I know I find myself telling somebody, ask me how I feel, oh, I'm fine, because I don't want to put out there any negativity, because in life you're going to deal with struggles. But if you take the high road and deal with the positiveness about it, because we know that it won't last long, you know. So we put on that black tie affair, and that's our largest fundraiser, to raise funds so that we're able to help a patient, a transplanted patient, with their drugs, their medications, and they are very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we do.
Wow.
We're doing a toy drive even this week, and we're giving to everybody, but we're focused on the kidney community. Those young people that have children, um, that are in need. They have to decide whether they're going to get medication or provide Christmas.
Oh
Um,
my God, I never
yeah,
even thought about that.
right. So that's what we're doing. Um,
That's a great initiative, Minister Harper. I was just thinking about uh, a decision of medication or something else, but I mean, to even think about, people that have kids and got to make a decision on medication or toys or something like that, I never
mhm.
even thought about that.
Yeah, because nobody wants to break their children's heart at this time. But we have a host of volunteers who come in at these classes every third Saturday of the month, where they educate us, as I was saying. But we have a nurse that comes in, we have a pharmacist who comes in, a nutritionist. The mental health comes in. Actually, we're in the building. We share the building with the mental health,
Oh
mental
man, that's
wellness.
wonderful.
Because when any type of illness, any type of sickness, you go through a thing of depression, uh, just so many changes your mind goes through. I know when I was diagnosed with kidney disease 18 years ago, the first thing I thought was death sentence. I'm going to die. But I had a woman of God to speak to me, and it meant so much. It was like I heard it. And she said, "You will live and not die and proclaim the word of the Lord." And when she told me that, I grabbed a hold of that thing for dear life. And she said, "If anybody asks you how you're doing, you tell them all is well, because you never want to put a doubt on your illness. You
Say that again.
always, you never want to put a doubt on your illness. And you always have to have a purpose to live."
Wow.
And when I grabbed a hold of that and I started the Kidney Foundation, because I'm going to tell you, that was part of my motto. It's kidney disease is not a death sentence, but it's a new way of living. It's a new beginning. And what we have to remember with kidney disease is we may not be able to do all of what we used to do as quick as we used to do it. But if we just go slow, take our time, and stay focused and keep moving, if it's no more than just to help somebody, encourage them, let them know that I too went through it. There were days when I was first diagnosed, I didn't know if I was going to make it. I've had several hospitalizations, but every time I go into the hospital and I come out, it's like God restores me. And he lets me know that you made it through that and you can make it through anything else that you have to go through in life.
Wow.
I'm never going to give up. I don't care what it is, because I've already overcome so many other things.
Mm,
So it's the mission of us is to promote and to advocate for the kidney community.
mm-hmm.
Promote self-empowerment, because it's nothing worse than a person feeling defeated even before they try.
Mm, mm.
You know, we want to promote personal health care. It's okay for the medical staff to take a personal interest in us and help us get back on our feet. But if we ourselves don't take that interest, we'll never get to where we need to go.
Wow.
So to say, um, my thing is just to encourage, encourage, encourage.
But let me ask you this, Minister.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Can you take us back to when you got that call and it was your time? Can you tell us what you was doing, what was going through your mind, and just how that played out until you got up to the hospital?
Well, actually, it was a Christmas gift. I was working with two organizations. One was the LAHEAT program, where we actually helped clients get their heating bills paid. So I was working with them, and I was working with the USDA, where we were preparing food boxes for holidays. We did it monthly, and every month we would have this uh, go into the different church and have this assembly line, and we would pack the boxes with food. I was doing the assembly line when I got the first call that they might have a kidney. Um, and boy, I'm telling you, it was a joyous time, because I had people there to actually celebrate that call with me. The second call I got was that the kidney was available to me, and it was an anonymous donor. And I was doing the LAHEAT program, doing paying the people's heating bills. Well, when that call came in, it all ended for me, because work was over. I was so happy. I couldn't even I couldn't function anymore, because I was going to get my kidney, and not just any kidney. I was getting a kidney from a live person. So but I had to wait a whole month because that was like December the 27th or December the 20 something. But the operation was set up for the 27th of January. So that meant I had to wait a whole month to wait on this kidney. The day of the surgery, I went into the hospital. I had a male nurse. And when I went in, I said to him, he asked me what was I here for, and I told him I'm here for a kidney transplant. So then he wanted to know who was my donor, and I told him I don't know. So he starts looking all over the room for a camera. He says, "Am I on that show Pump? The show where they pull these stunts on people?" I said, "No, that's what they told me to report for my kidney." So he's looking under the bed and he's looking all around. "You sure you're not pulling a stunt on me?" I said, "No, sir." And I started getting nervous because now I'm thinking the nurse don't know. I'm in trouble. So he says, "Let me go to the desk and find out what's going on." So he comes back. He says, "Oh, I understand it now. You're going to get the kidney. You're in that match program. You have an anonymous donor to give you a kidney, and you wouldn't know who they are." So then I'm trying to convince him, "Why don't you go down there and find out who it is? Because I would love to know who's donating this kidney to me." So he told me, "I can't tell you, but I can tell you it's a female, and she's about 35 years old." And I'm thinking, God, you done gave me a kidney from a live donor, and she's 35. I'm getting a young kidney. So I'm thinking I'll be able to do so much with this young kidney. Well, come to find out years later, the morning after the surgery, that's what really blew my mind. When I looked in the mirror and saw myself, 20 years had come off of my life. I looked 20 years younger. And I had to take a double take in the mirror because all of the darkness that was in my skin, it lightened up like 3 shades lighter.
What the day after?
The morning after the surgery, I looked good. And when I tell you, when I can say I look good, well, you have to take a double look at your own self. You know, God
Wow.
did something miraculous.
Wow.
But yes, I looked good. No bags under my eyes. My skin was so clear and smooth. My eyes were bright. It was like a whole nother person there.
Well, let me ask you this.
Hmm.
Did you overnight, did you feel, I mean, I know you were medicated, but did you feel any type of transformation?
Uh, I don't know. I guess I did. I guess I did because I was talking quite a bit. And I was talking to my doctors because, they came around for their rounds as a team. And I remember telling them how excited I was and that I really, really wanted my donor to know how appreciative I was
Mm-hmm.
and how I was able to live a life on dialysis where I was busy. I was able to do and help people, donating my time. I was a good volunteer. And I said, what I was doing on dialysis with this brand new kidney, I'm going to be able to do so much more. And I wanted my donor to know. And what they advised me to do was to write a letter to the donor and that they would see that the donor got this letter before they left the hospital. But they could not tell me who it was or they couldn't point it out to me. And they did deliver the letter. After I got out of the hospital, the donor actually wrote me to let me know that she opted not to meet me in the hospital because she felt that I had gone through enough and she had to have minor surgery as well. She went home 3 days after the surgery. I went home 5 days after the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And she explained to me how she had come to donate this kidney. She was going to donate it to a restaurant owner, and he wasn't a match. So she went a year later to find out who needed this kidney, because she had seen the restaurant owner and thought he looked fabulous. And she said if a new kidney would do him that way, she had this perfectly good kidney she could give to anybody.
Mm.
And she donated the kidney, and God saw fit that I was the one to receive that kidney. But the thing
Wow.
about it was, we did actually meet, and I was able to honor her last year at our banquet.
Oh
And
man, that's awesome.
it was our 7th year anniversary of the transplant, and we both were honored on at the 7th year.
Wow.
And she's just been a joy to me. And come to find out, her birthday is a day after my birthday,
Mm.
and she's 2 years younger than I. So when they told me she was 35, that wasn't so true. She was a little older than 35,
Mm-hmm.
but she was 2 years younger than I, and in very good health. So I have a
Wow.
healthy kidney. And she and I, we talk, and she's moved to Hawaii since then, and I plan to go visit with her.
If I may ask, and I know color doesn't make a difference with organs, but
Mm.
was it a what race was the donor?
She's a Caucasian donor.
Wow.
And I tell you, when I
Wow.
looked at her, we kind of look alike. We have the same type of glasses. We had the same
Mm.
short haircut. I mean, I told her, I said, you're my sister. We look alike. And we started laughing. She said, yeah, we
Wow.
do.
I
But
mean, a perfect stranger wanted to donate, and you
that's
just
right.
happened to be in the. Were you on the list, or you was in this program? How did that come about that you got a anonymous donor organ?
I was in the program, but I had been in the program for a while. It just seemed like my number came up, because at first when I went in, I was overweight and they would not give me the kidney. As a matter of fact, they kind of took me off of the list.
Mm.
So when I got sick and lost a lot of weight, and my doctor, when I started, getting better, my doctor said, "Come on, let's go in and get evaluated while you got this weight off of you." And I did, and I was able to get on the list because I had lost the weight.
Wow.
And I was on the list for about a year and a half when I got the kidney.
Mm.
So um, it's just been a blessing. It, it
It
it has been a
absolutely,
blessing.
absolutely. Now let me ask you, Minister,
Hmm.
were you a minister um during your time on dialysis, or this is something that happened after you had the transplant?
Actually, I became a minister the year of my transplant.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I was still on dialysis when I started the process of becoming a minister.
Okay, okay.
However, I have worked in the church. I was an armor bearer, so I helped to take care of
Mm-hmm.
pastors in the church.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very close, but I just I didn't choose to go any further.
Sure. Now, how how has this whole experience increased your faith?
Oh my God. Hmm. When I tell you, there was a time I was religious, okay, where uh, you go by the rule. There was certain things you did, certain things you couldn't do. Going into this journey, I realized that it is a relationship with the Father. It is not um, what you do, what you don't do, what you. It's not all of that. It's knowing who he is and him knowing who you are. When you come to a place where you have direct fellowship with him, you can ask what you will of him and he will do it. The word is true to what it says. Every inch of it. Every inch of it. You can't take anything away from it and you cannot add anything to it. So I trust God with my life. I trust him with my whole being. And I love him with my whole heart. I believe God. Whatever God said, I believe it.
Absolutely,
He's
absolutely.
carried
I
me
didn't
through.
experience some miracles myself,
Mm-hmm.
but wow. I mean, I didn't. I mean, since doing these shows, Minister Harper,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have heard so many different amazing stories. Uh, just the other day from uh, Jesusa Mendoza from Pasco, Washington, who's still on dialysis, who had two transplants,
Mm-hmm.
going for a third, but she used to do peritoneal at home, and I believe she said she worked in the fields. I'm not exactly sure, but wherever she worked, she used to do her treatment in her car.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I,
That's not unheard of. With the peritoneal, you can travel, as long as you set it up where you have a clean environment, you can do. I love peritoneal dialysis
mm-hmm.
because you're more freer with that. And the best thing that a patient can do or a person can do when they hear that they have to go on dialysis, do your research, do your homework, find out, and don't necessarily listen to the negativity. Somebody that's always negative, I don't care what the subject is, that's the last one you want to talk to. Talk to somebody who's going to tell you the good as well as the bad, because you want honesty.
I mean, you just said it. I mean, and that's our goal at Urban Kidney Alliance, just to be honest, the hard truth, as as hard as may be to hear, but you have to hear the truth to make a conscious decision and an informed decision to know what's going on with your life. I mean, it
Absolutely.
can't be no sugarcoating, especially when it comes to kidney disease, because excuse me, it can go either way at any time.
That's right.
And I mean, that's the whole point of why we do these shows and why we stress what we stress. Um,
I will tell you, kidney disease is not for wimps. You have to be a warrior. Put your war clothes on because you will fight.
Now, has this journey allowed you, now being a minister, has it allowed you um to minister to more people, and I guess especially now people who may be dealing with kidney disease? Has this allowed you to kind of get your message out there, being a minister and also ministering people's souls?
Yes, it has. Oftentimes, I would get a call where a person doesn't want to go on dialysis. They don't want to be bothered. They have this thing where, I'm going to die anyway. Um,
I heard that.
misinformed. And oftentimes, I'm the one that goes in and talks with them. I mean, really talk with them, just to let them know, that you can't give up before you even try. I've been dealing with kidney disease for 18 years.
Mm,
And look at me. You know, I was where you are, but it doesn't last like that. It doesn't have to be your story. It's not over. So and that's my thing, just to encourage the people, because years ago when I went on, I'm telling you the truth, I was something else because I was angry. I was unsure. Didn't Afraid of the unknown. Didn't want everybody touching me. I wanted certain ones to stick me. And yes, you can be pacific as to who, because it is your body. You have the right to be confident in who deals with you. But in the same token, you don't have to take it out on people who are trying to help you.
Minister Harper,
Hmm.
I'm smiling because of you saying about certain people stick you and all that. I can
Oh.
I can just see myself because I used to travel
Hmm.
and be a travel nurse, and I could just see myself like if you was on dialysis and if I came to the unit, you'll probably, and if I approach you like if you was on the machine, I was coming to do your assessment or give you meds, you would probably I would introduce myself, but I know you'll probably like ask who is that person or something like
Listen,
that.
you gonna tell me? Listen, you gonna tell me? And then I want to know, if you stick me, how often do you miss?
Right,
you
right.
know, you want to be, confident in the people that take care of you.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
and I was in the medical field myself. As a matter of fact, I was a respiratory therapist before this
Wow.
awful disease hit me. But
Okay.
in the
Wow.
in the same token, this disease has taught me to be compassionate to sick people. Whereas before, I didn't really have the patience. You either take your treatment or you just let me know if you don't want it. Let me know so that I can go on and chart that you refused.
Right.
Because you the one can't breathe. That was my attitude. But when this
Yeah.
disease hit me, the compassion, that that bedside manner means a whole lot. And I don't sugarcoat it even now, but I have the compassion. It's one thing when you do it in love and understanding. It's another thing when you do it and you're cocky. You come in, like, I don't really want to be here. This is your life. If you want to do that, that's fine. I'm gonna collect my paycheck. When you're dealing with people like that, it really sends a bad message to the person whose life is on the line.
No, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Wow.
but
Wow.
if I may, I want to encourage those that are watching or will watch this
Absolutely.
session to really, support the Kidney Foundation, support the kidney community at large. But because I'm speaking for the New Beginning Kidney Foundation, I ask you for your support, because this one large fundraiser that we do yearly, we do it top notch. It's not something that's thrown together. We put much thought in it. The honorees get a trophy that they can look at and remember that they are surviving the journey of kidney disease. They get a chance to dress up, walk the red carpet, tell their story, so that others who are just coming in as kidney patients will know that they are surviving this disease and I can too. You know, um, there are several ways. We have T-shirts. We have, at this event, we're raffling off a trip, where, as well as a 50-inch screen TV and a gift basket. We're doing a twist to it this year because the television, the 50-inch screen TV, the winner that sells that ticket will get a television as well. So the person that sells the winning ticket will get a television as well.
Wow.
Um, the tickets are $60. You could go in on, PayPal, or go in on the website, which is newbeginningkidney.com. Purchase your tickets early, and see how the kidney community lays it out for our own, because we are sharp on that night and we are celebrated.
Right. And this
Uh,
is in Conyers, Georgia.
well, actually, the event is going to be in Decatur.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Covington Highway, right off of 285.
Okay.
But if they go in on the website, they will be able to see all of the information. If they go in on my Facebook, which is Anita Christian-Harper, they'll be able to see all of the flyers and the information because I'm constantly posting it.
He said that's newbeginning.com.
NewBeginningKidney.com.
All right, let me put that up there right quick.
Okay. Yeah, New Beginning.
Um, what?
They'll be, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Newbeginningkidney.com.
Yes. They'll also be able to see the support group meetings and who would be our guests for that month. All of and the different websites that we're connected to.
You got to put mine up there.
Okay, and we'll
Urban
definitely
Kidney
do that.
Alliance.
Yes, we'll definitely do that. And we are also selling ads to go in our souvenir books.
Okay.
Um, the business card is $15. A quarter page is 25. A half a page is 50, and a whole page is 100. And you don't have to have a business to put an ad in there. You can put a memorial, a remembrance file,
Mm-hmm.
a,
Mm-hmm.
post. They're constantly posting on Facebook all of these different things. Everybody's got a story. Well, purchase an ad and put your story in the ad and help the kidney community.
Right. Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
it's sad, but oftentimes people don't donate to our
Go ahead
our
and say it. I mean, they don't. I
they
mean,
they
a lot of
don't.
people don't donate to minority organizations. I experienced that uh, right here and now. I mean, I've been doing this since 2014, and when I first started in 2014, and I was asking for donations, you know, I, I mean, a lot of people that I personally know and know
Yes,
to this day that I helped out, wrote letters to help get jobs, and a lot
yes,
that haven't donated a dime, but I mean, I've gotten over that, and I
yes.
know if this is my journey, and that God is going to make the stuff happen that needs to happen for me to get where I need to go, whether it's from my friends' donations or people I don't know donations or nobody donating at all. The
Hmm.
message is still going to get out there. If it's going to come out of my pocket, either way, that message is going to get out there. I mean,
Absolutely.
and that's that. I'm true to that, and I've been staying the course since 2014. The truth is the truth. I still work for DaVita. Uh, I don't care. When I say I don't care, meaning I care for the patients, but I'm going to speak the truth, and the truth is the truth. And if the corporation is wrong, they're wrong,
Hmm.
and I'm going to speak on it. I mean,
Hmm.
because people's lives are at stake.
Absolutely.
So, Minister Harper, as we close down our show, I mean, can you give the people watching and anybody who's been just diagnosed with kidney disease? I always ask people to share a word of advice to give encouragement or hope. But with you being a minister and a woman of faith, can you just share just a small mixture of God's word and your own personal encouragement to help someone that may be in that situation right now?
Yes, I'm looking at this picture behind me, and it's actually Jesus walking on water. And I encourage you to learn how to have that walking water faith. When and it even in kidney disease or not, it's important to believe and have a purpose, because as you have a purpose, it gives you a drive to live. It gives you a drive to help somebody else. Let it never be all about yourself, but always, always, because we are our brother's keeper. And if we don't look after one another, then we are really in sad shape. I encourage anybody, pick up God's word, learn it for yourself, and then apply it, because we can't do anything without him. It's not about us. It's not about the way we feel, but it's what you know. On the inside of yourself, you have to know and stand on and believe in what you know. Because if we don't believe in something, we'll fall for anything.
Mm.
So it's important for us to believe in God's word and apply it to our lives so that we are able to be winners. We are able to stand on the truth as we know it. And I already learned that anything that is written in black and white is a legal document. If it's on paper, it's legal. You cannot change it. In the medical field, it's that way. They don't allow you to use no eraser. Once you write it down, it is legal. In the court system, if you sign it, you cannot go back and say, I didn't understand it. I didn't know. It's legal. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
But it's a legal document, and we have if we say it, it's out there already. It's in the atmosphere.
Absolutely. All right.
Be I'm sorry. Be careful
That's okay.
in what you let come out of your mouth. Be careful what you put your signature on, and be careful what you're standing for. Know that what you're standing for, you have investigated it and you know it for yourself. And
Wow.
that's all I can really say.
All right. Hey, you said enough, Minister. You said enough, and Amen. Thank you for those words of encouragement. And I definitely want to talk with you off camera about collaboration, and getting spreading this message as far as we can.
Yes, because I'm going to tell you, I have even reached people as far as New York and um, the Poconos Mountains, Delaware. Kidney disease is not just in Georgia. And
Absolutely.
and the sad part is they're reaching out into different states trying to get help. So that's telling me a lot. That means that in their own neighborhoods there is nothing available. So we
Yeah.
got we got to do something. The American Heart Association is big on what they do. The National Kidney, the cancer is well on what they do. The National Kidney Foundation is well on what they do. But when you have all these little ones like myself and you and what you're doing, Sorrel and what she's doing, we're the little guys. And if we can't do anything else but reach one at a time, those that come, may we be able to
Absolutely.
help them.
That's how I look at it. One community at a time.
That's it. So
All
I
right.
would love to talk with you off camera.
Oh,
I'm so
absolutely.
sorry that Sorrel was not able to join us.
Oh no, we're gonna revisit. We're gonna revisit that.
Okay.
We're gonna revisit that. But let me just ask you. Well, I talked to you on camera because I just had an idea, but I want to text you after the show.
That'll be fine.
All right,
But
Minister
use
Harper.
my
Thank you
number.
so much for coming on, taking the time out of your schedule. and sharing your story, sharing the New Beginning organization as well.
Yes. And don't forget Toys for Tots. The Kidney Foundation is doing a toy giveaway Thursday and Friday. We can use volunteers, and we can even use those that are in need for toys for their children, and they don't have the money to put out there. 1175 Green Street, Conyers, Georgia, is our site.
All right. All right. Say that address one more time.
1175 Green Street, Conyers, Georgia, 30012.
You
And
heard it, folks.
it's in the Listening Ear building, which is the
Okay.
counseling
Toys for
center.
Tots.
And it's the Toys for Tots giveaway. And the New Beginning Kidney Foundation is hosting that.
All
Okay.
right. All right. All right, Minister. Thanks a lot for coming on, and we'll be talking with you soon.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. God bless you. Take care.
God bless you. Have a wonderful night.
You too. All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, guys, that was a great conversation with Minister Harper, and we look forward to working with her. Before I go, I just wanted to share something that my Facebook friend, and I'm glad to call off of Facebook a friend, Stephanie Stevens out of San Antonio, Texas. We have linked together. Steve and Steph are in it to win it. It's Team Baltimore, which I am, and Team San Antonio. And what we're trying to do is we're battling out for those battling kidney disease. This campaign is between December 18th to the 31st. We're asking for a $30 donation, and this will help support our competition to provide dialysis patients with a toxin-free care package during the holiday season. Now, toxin-free, and for those of you who don't know, and if you're in one of the stages of kidney disease, and if you use commercial deodorant, if you look on the back, and I'll put my post on that I put up some time back, a lot of deodorant, especially commercial deodorant, has aluminum in it. And if you're using that every day over a period of years, it kind of seeps into your body because deodorant is absorbed. So if you're absorbing aluminum and you have kidney disease or in one of the stages, not kidney failure, but kidney disease, this can kind of almost accelerate to a certain degree the process, but you just don't know. Now, just don't take my word for it. Go out and look on the back of a commercial deodorant like Dial or something like that and see the ingredients. And on the back of the label, it normally says, if you have kidney disease, check with your nephrologist or physician before using the product. Something around like that. But I want to look through my iPhone pictures and find that photo, or it may be on Facebook. But I did post a photo of a deodorant and showed the back of it with the ingredients of aluminum, and if you had kidney disease, to check with your doctor. So we're putting together these care packages which are toxin free. I'm talking about soap, which is natural, toothpaste natural, because we all know with the toothpaste it has a lot of sugar in it. And if you had diabetes or heart disease or kidney disease, you were susceptible to gum disease. And with that sugar, those uh, commercial toothpaste, other than probably Arm& Hammer, Sensodyne, those with that peroxide in it. But the other ones with the gel and all that, that attracts bacteria. So we're putting together these care packages to deliver to some unit. We haven't designated the unit to receive these care packages. It's going to be one in San Antonio and one here in Baltimore, Maryland. So if you'd like to help with this competition, Team San Antonio versus Team Baltimore, this is all in great spirit and it's for a worthy cause. So if you'd like to do that, PM me, Steve Belcher, on Facebook, or Stephanie Stevens. Again, this is to support kidney dialysis patients with a toxin-free care packages, and more than likely, these packages will be delivered in a urban community dialysis facility here in Baltimore and one in San Antonio, where people, where some of the people, not all, are unfortunate not to have access to certain items or have to make a decision whether to get medicine or personal items for their health. So again, Steph and Steve, we are in it to win it. That's the campaign. It's Team Baltimore versus Team San Antonio. Steve and Steph, we're battling out for those, the friendly battle, but we're battling out for people with kidney disease. This is from December 18th to the 31st. It's just a $30 donation. That's a cup of coffee. That's a pack of bacon, hot dogs, some of the unhealthy foods that we put in our body, deodorant. So $30 donation will help support our competition to provide, again, dialysis patients with toxin-free care packages during this holiday season. Team goal, my goal is 50. Steph goal is 50, but I want to try to do more than 50. I want to try to go with 75 to 100 because a lot of people, not just 50 people, but more than 50 people could use these packages, especially during the holiday season. So you got it. Please donate, anything you can. If it's not 35, 10 cents, 50 cents, I mean, anything to help people who can't help themselves during this holiday season. So tune in this Thursday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. as we have on Lizzie, Kidney for Lizzie. Y'all may have seen her on Facebook, Elizabeth Connors. She's going to be on Urban Renal Talk with Tamika and Steve this Thursday. We look forward to talking with her. She's out of Bensalem, Pennsylvania, right up the road from me. So tune in for an exciting show. We're going to hear how she's working with Jared and Jeffrey Brown and finding a kidney. Them guys are amazing. Have y'all recently seen their videos? I mean, these guys are doing some amazing things, something I haven't seen since I started this in 2014. But if you know someone who looking for a kidney, they're on the list, and they're having some challenges in trying to find a donor, seek out Jeffrey and Jared Brown. Y'all should name this something, man, instead of Jeffrey and Jared and Jeffrey, but that's just my opinion. But y'all doing amazing things. Keep doing that work, man. I appreciate it. Tune in Thursday, Urban Renal Talk with Tamika and Steve, as we talk with Kidney for Lizzie. Thanks, guys, for tuning in the show. Thank you, Minister Harper, for giving us your encouragement and sharing your story. And Sorrel, I know you had to take care of business and the technical problems you had where the area you was at, but we got it done. Get home safely. God bless you. We look forward to your show next week. And until then, thanks for watching, y'all. Peace and blessings. And if you want to tune into these shows, just come on Urban Health Outreach Media. These shows will be streaming nonstop. If you want to come back and listen to something that you may have heard that could be encouraging, that you can share with another kidney warrior, please do so. That's what this page is all about. Urban Health Outreach Media. Thanks, y'all, for watching. God bless you and good night.